time machine wait.
That's not a question!
Questions! I need answers!
Alright, we're back again, and I've got a few pinball-related questions, so I will answer those. The first is by Chili Davis. Will you count Ghostbusters Pinball as Pinball Arcade and play it for us? Also, since it's haunted house, do you hate the table already? You know, it was kind of interesting when I started hearing about this Ghostbusters table from Farsight Studios. I was like, that's kind of unusual. They don't usually make unique tables. They usually just try to simulate tables that have already existed. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, oh, it's just haunted house with a reskin. I'm not really interested in it, but I will play it if... I don't know if I will play it. If it winds up on like the PS4 or something. I really think it's only on Android and iOS devices right now, which I could do. I can stream from my phone, but I really haven't executed it or tried it in practice to see how well it would work. So, do I hate the table already? I will say, I may have said I hated Haunted House in the past, but I guess hate is really too strong of a word. It's not one of my favorites, and I don't know, maybe I have yet to see video footage of this table yet myself, but I'm not gonna be, you know, jumping through hoops to go buy it or anything as of yet. I just think it's really weird, and it kind of annoys me that they advertise for it in the Pinball Arcade app, even though, you know, whatever. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility that I'll do that. In fact, there's other games on my phone I'd like to play in a video. I just have to execute it somehow. And I just haven't worked through the logistics of that. Let's move on to the next question. And this is the main one for the video. Jake Roberts, if you were to do a top 10 list of your favorite pinball machines, what would it be on? What would be on it and why? And I actually worked out a top 10. Again, top 10 lists are fickle things, and I could change this at any time. Well, when I made the list, this is what I came up with. And I will do it from 10 to 1. I actually came up with an order. Number 10, Theater of Magic by Bally. Is that really what I had on there? Yeah. Theater of Magic by Bally. I thought I replaced that with something else. I guess I did. So that was by Bally in 1995. What I like about this machine is it does lots of visual tricks with the pinball, like hitting it in the box, or hitting the magnet on the box and holding it and spinning it around and making it disappear. Making the ball vanish and it just reappears later. The mirror, where you have to use the mirror to find the rollover lanes in the back of the machine. The trap door. It just got a lot of nice, fun features on there. Also, like when you activate the ball save, sometimes it if the ball's going towards the out lane, the magnet will activate and it'll just stop the ball from draining through the out lanes. I think that's pretty cool. Let's go number 9. I put Monster Bash by Williams, 1998. Just like this one, it's got all the movie monsters, and they're trying to form a rock band. I really like the theme of it. It's got a really nice layout. I like how Dracula comes out, and you have to hit him a bunch of times. You have to basically get all the monsters on board to rejoin the band, and then I guess it's the wizard mode of the ball. You got the whole game was the Monster Bash, and it's got really great music. I don't know. I could just go on it forever with the game. I just really like the theme. It is a later Williams machine, only 2 years before they went out of business. So it's really up there. I gotta say though, like almost all these machines are all these machines on my list are from the 90s, because that's when I was going to arcades and playing all these machines. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Doctor Who from Bally in 1992. I remember playing this one in the arcade a lot, and this was before I even became a fan of the show Doctor Who. I just remember being blown away when you lock the balls and the platform raises up, and then it has all these buttons here that you hit. When you hit all the buttons like 3 times, what blew me away was that the platform came up a 3rd time, and that's when you get I think the multi-ball. and that's when you're hitting the trying to hit the Daleks that are hidden underneath there. That would be a machine I kind of would want to have. Monster Bash and Theater of...
Machine is waiting.
I have you already, okay? And you're not on this list. I did anyway. Yeah, Doctor Who. What I was gonna say was that Theater of Magic and Monster Bash are really expensive machines. So expensive that I'm not even planning on getting them one day. But Doctor Who was kind of a cheaper machine. Maybe you could easily get it from around between $1,000 and $2,000. So if I had the money and I found one, and it was around that price range, I would say $1,200 would be a perfect price for a decent Doctor Who machine. I wouldn't mind getting that if I had the money, which I don't right now. Yeah, I just like it. And it's really just for that platform thing. Number 7, I have Attack from Mars. Used to play this a lot in a movie theater I used to go to while I was in the Air Force in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I just like the way it's laid out. You basically have to attack or defend your cities from the aliens, I guess, by hitting their main saucer that's attacking. And you do that repeatedly, and there's lots of funny jokes and quips and, you know, easy multi-ball to get in the game. Very easy layout. You got the Martians, very funny. Really, that's all I can really say about it. I never really... It's also on the Pinball Arcade, and I never got to the main wizard mode of that game until I played it on the Pinball Arcade. But that's got a whole Save the Earth mode, and that's actually pretty fun. Moving on. Medieval Madness is number 6 from Williams in 1997. And the reason I'm putting this one right next to Attack from Mars is because it's pretty much exactly the same. It plays almost exactly the same way. Except instead of alien spaceships, it's a castle. And the reason I put it a little bit higher is because it's a little bit more fun with the castle like falling apart and whatnot. And then you've got the dragon and then the catapult. I think it's a little bit funnier than Attack from Mars. And you got Barnyard Multi-Ball. It's actually got more multi-ball modes, I think. You got Barnyard Multi-Ball, you got Castle Multi-Ball, and then you've got all the Madness Multi-Balls you can do. Yeah, you try and stack up all of the Madness modes at once, and then you hit the Wizard, and if you get them all 4 of them, it just goes insane. So yeah, we got that. Let's move on. Number 5, Twilight Zone, Bally, 1993. Awesome machine. In fact, they play this one in tournaments a lot. I think this is the #1 machine on the Internet Pinball database from users at the moment. But yeah, a lot of Twilight Zone references. You've got the clock, the camera. I don't think the gumball was part of anything, but you've got the power ball where it's like a ceramic ball, so that's a unique feature that comes out of the gumball. You have to return it for bonus points. Really cool intro to multi-ball. Just top notch all the way around. I just don't like the bumper placement on the right lower left side it is, because sometimes it'll come right out of the bumper and drain your ball down the left out lane. Kind of a bummer, but whatever. Number 4, I got the machine, the Bride of Pinbot, from Williams, 1991. After school, high school, it was on an intramural bowling league, and the bowling alley we used to go to had this machine, and I played it a lot there. And I just like it's kind of a simple machine when you think about it. Really the only goal you really do is keep trying to hit that shuttle ramp, and the more you do that, the face changes, and that's where you get the billion-point shot and everything. You can actually, that's the only thing that kind of ruins the game, is the billion-point shot. Really, whoever gets the most billion-point shot is the one that wins. Because if you get the billion-point shot and somebody else doesn't, well, you beat them by almost 1 billion points. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is the middle of a trilogy of pinball machines. The first being Pinbot, then the Bride of Pinbot, and then the final one is Jackbot. I like Pinbot and Jackbot, but not as much, not to put them on this list. And they're practically the same machine too. They're just laid out differently. is that Jackpot has a slightly different theme, a space casino, and better technology to run with the layout, I guess. Let's move on. Number 3, Addams Family by Bally, 1992. When I first started going to the arcades in the early 90s, this was one that was there. Almost every arcade seemed to have this machine. It is the best-selling pinball machine of all time. And it's awesome, really. You get the multi-ball, you got Showtime, and then multi-ball starts, and you've got the magnet under the field that really throws off the multi, because you don't know what's going to happen. And it's on there while multi-ball. It's also on when you're trying to make that last shot for multi-ball, making that shot extremely difficult. You got the chair, you got the ramp, you got the opening up the bookcase for greed. You thing coming out and grabbing the ball. That's a pretty cool feature. And you've also got the Phantom Thing flipper, where you don't even have to flip. There's a flipper on the left side, this little one, and the machine will try and time that to hit the shot all the time, and it works pretty damn awesome. Would I want one in my collection? Not for the price they go for. Addams Family pinball machine in primo condition could go for easily $10,000 these days. So let's move on. Number 2. This may be cheating a little bit, but number 2 is actually this. I really like this machine. Star Trek, it was one of the best things I ever bought, even though it did cost me nearly $5,000. But with all the upgrades I've put in this machine, I really like it. You've got the warp ramp. That's the thing that really sold me on it, was trying to repeat the warp ramp. You've got the shot underneath the upper right flipper. Very awesome. The Klingon multi-ball effect is really cool now. Also, you have the Vengeance that shakes, a lot like Attack from Mars, the saucer that shook in there. But I really like this machine, and I guess I'm being a little bit biased by putting it in my number 2 and me actually owning it, but whatever. It's my number 2. And number 1, and I've had this as my favorite for a long time, and I'm kind of reluctant to budget out of this spot, but it's Getaway. High Speed 2 by Williams, 1992. And I just like this. I like the soundtrack in the game. It's got the supercharger ramp where the balls will just circle around and shoot out. And then it's also by the same person, designed by the same person who did the Star Trek. Steve Ritchie designed that one as well. And it's also got the same loop at the top, where it's not a ramp, but you can loop the ball around and just as many times as you want. And I love that kind of shot where you try to do it really fast and accurately. The ball locks, comes up around. Yeah, it's actually a sequel to High Speed, which I don't like that much. I mean, they fixed a lot of things in High Speed 2, or The Getaway. Yeah, the layout is actually, some of the shots are almost exactly the same on that machine as this machine. But, I don't know, I just remember playing that machine a lot. I have really fond memories of that machine. And I remember playing it for like, playing that machine for like an hour on 1/4 one time. Because I just kept winning free games. I kept hitting that score, and I kept matching. And I at one point had more credits on the machine than I had put in initially. So I have to put it number 1. I do, and the thing is though, it's not even that in terms of pinball. It's not even that much more of an expensive machine to get. It's about the same price as the Doctor Who, even for good condition. About $1,200 would be a good price for it. So honestly, if I could get 2 more machines, it would be the Doctor Who and the Getaway. But my wife actually really wants Funhouse. That's actually a slightly higher upper machine. That's her favorite machine. I like it, and I could see getting it just to make her happy. It'd be a fun machine to play. They play it in tournaments a lot. But yeah, those are my top 10s. I just got one more question, and it's from Hint Indiana Jones. What's the one table, excluding Star Trek by Stearns, that you'd kill for Farstate to make in a table in Pinball Arcade? And I'm guessing his name is, he thinks I should say Indiana Jones. Now here's the thing, it was the original Indiana Jones machine. I think it's by, I can't remember who it's by. It's either by Williams or Bally. I played it, but not a whole lot. My pinball, or the arcade that I used to go to at the time, had the machine, but they didn't have it for that long. and I don't really remember too much about it. And it's a machine I also these days, I haven't played it recently. I haven't seen it at, well, I might have seen it at the expo, but there's always people around. I know people love that machine. I just have no recollection of it. I kind of remember it, but I can't pick it. I would love for it to be on Pinball Arcade so I could remember it, but that's not the one table I would pick. The one table I would pick would be, if you were playing at home and just watched the answer to my last question, would be the number one on that list, and that would be the Getaway High Speed 2. And licensing wouldn't be that big of an issue as it would be for Indiana Jones. And they've already put High Speed, which is the prequel to that, on the Pinball Arcade. So Getaway High Speed 2 could come at some point. The only licensing trouble there might be would be for ZZ Top, because they play Lagrange in the machine the whole time. So that would be the only licensing issue, I think. But I think that's more likely than Indiana Jones. So yeah, let's just go with that. If you have a question, answer it or ask it in the link I have in the description below. It takes you to a form to fill out that question. Don't ask it in the comments, because I'm only answering questions in videos that I get through there, because I get them all in one neat, tidy spot. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye.